She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
I want to talk to you this morning. We're gonna really dig deep into entrepreneurial skills, and I want to press you a little further about vision and why you're doing what you're doing. There were several questions that some of you wrote in about, like, man, I've kind of lost my steam. I've kind of lost my passion, for what I'm doing. I've kind of been through some stuff. I wish I can get back to how I felt in the beginning when I first started my business. And my question to you is, why would you ever want to go back? You don't want to go back. You want to go forward. You want to go forward. But what's important is that you remember why you ever got started. What was it that spurred you to say yes to whatever opportunity it is that you have embarked on? Whether it is you're a real estate broker, you're in the insurance business, you're in the media business, you're in the travel business, you're in the massage business, the oil business, the skincare business, it doesn't matter what business you're in, there's something that said yes inside of you. So why did you get started? Why did you get started in that engineering field or whatever field it is that you're in? Why? There's another question about a woman who is an actress who is here, who also asked, how do I build that business? How do I become more successful as an actress? It's all the same thing. Business is a very simple thing. It's not as complex as many of us make it out to be, especially in the very beginning. As you scale your business, that's when things can get crazier, which is why most people never, ever grow it. They like to just stay somewhere around $1 million. In fact, 94% of all businesses stay around $1 million a year. 999,000. 94% of all businesses stay right there. So if you're in that range, you're doing great. You know what I mean? If you're somewhere, between $500,000 and $1 million in business, that's pretty freaking incredible. And then there's, very few that go to 10 million. And then even fewer that go beyond a $10 million mark. So you have to remember, why did I do this? Why did I get started? What was important to me then? What stirred me then? When we lose sight of that why that is in us, that is when we start to falter in our commitment to what it is that we're doing. And so I have found that in the beginning for me, my why was about helping people. That was my motivation from the beginning. It is still my motivation today. The people that I help are similar to the ones that I helped back then, and yet there's a whole lot that has changed, meaning the help has come much more full circle. It used to always be for me about money. Now it's about literally changing lives. To me, it was the answer to everything was people making more money. It's not necessarily the answer to everything. So when I look back to the motive of where I started, you need to look back to the motive why you started. And sometimes those things change, meaning, yes, making money is really important, but if just making money is what you're all about, it's not gonna drive you necessarily forever. And it eventually gets empty, because money actually can be kind of boring. It can. Money can actually be boring. It really gets to a point where it's like, oh, okay, well you can only eat so much, you can only travel so much, do you understand? You can only buy so many clothes, you can only buy so many cars, you can only buy so many houses. Do you know what I'm saying? You get to a point where it's like, okay, well that was cool. You can only visit so many amusement parks. You know what I mean? It's just, you kind of get to a point where it's like, okay, well that was cool, but what's next? So I want to challenge you in your why and digging deeper as to why you're here and who specifically it is that you're looking for, and helping other people figure out what is important to them, what is their why. And sometimes it can take a lifetime to kind of figure all that stuff out, but as long as you're working in the direction of figuring that out, it's really important. It's not always going to be crystal clear to you, but if you're in that place where you've kind of lost your passion for it, and part of the reason why we lose our passion is because we get comfortable. When you have a little bit of success, you're no longer hungry. So, and hunger is actually what helps to make that burning desire and that burning why in you so crystal clear and evident. So it's important to continue to focus on why you're here. The why is what helps you to get past rejection. The why is what helps you get past the lulls that happen in business. It's the why that helps you get past the negatives. It's the why that helps you get past whenever there's a change in the market, or when there's a change with a business, or let's say you lose a supplier, or the vendor changes, or the manufacturing changes, or something goes away. Do you understand? When those things happen, your why you're there is what keeps you moving past those things that make you feel uncomfortable, that make you want to quit. And there's always going to be something that's going to come at you that's going to make you want to quit. There was a whole section of years where I wanted to quit. It is actually when Hans and I worked together. It was when he and I were working on the same exact projects all the time together. That's when I was like, this is not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. This is too difficult. This is too hard. It's not good for our marriage. It's not good for him. It's not good for me. It's not good for the family. Those things is like, man, every single month I had to press myself to continue on because I just wanted to quit. It was too hard. It was too much pressure. It was too confusing, and it just wasn't worth it. And so what kept me going was, in my case, was the orphan, the sick, and the widow. Those are the things that kept me pressing through and having to change me and how I thought and how I approached things, and having to help us, he and I both coming together to figure out, how do we fix this? Are we going to continue to work in this contentious place, or are we going to find a solution so that it's going to get easier and it's going to get better? So in the beginning for me, I told you on Saturday, the why was I need to find 40 weight loss testimonials. I'm going to create 40 weight loss testimonials. That was my focus. And there's something powerful that happens when your focus and the prospect's focus are in alignment. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for alignment between your focus and their focus. When that happens, it's a done deal. That's where you start to create momentum. So you want to get really good at finding what matters to that person and you aligning what matters to you with them. The money is always going to follow if you are focused on helping them get what they want and helping them to succeed. My marketing plan from the very beginning was a simple plan. It's the same today for me personally, internally, and this is what it is. Who can I help to succeed? Who can I help to succeed today? Who can I help to succeed today? Who can I help to succeed today? When you focus on that, when you focus on the success of other people, guess what happens? You become a magnet for people. People want to work with you because your goal and their goal is the same. This is why your goal of making money cannot be your number one goal. Because if your number one goal is making money for yourself, the prospect does not have that goal. Their goal is not to make you money. Do you hear me? The goal of the prospect is not to make you money. So if your goal is, I gotta make money, sorry, disconnect. They wanna make money themselves, so then what should be your focus? Help them make money. Does that make sense? Or if no matter what it is that your business is, right, you got to find out what the goal of the prospect is, help them get that goal, help them achieve that thing, and then it happens, there's a return for you, all right? So even as the example I was using with a restaurant, what's the goal of the person coming to the restaurant? It's an experience because they can cook their own food at home. Right? So what is the goal of that person? Well, one of the things, if you own a restaurant, you think for yourself, okay, yeah, why do I go to a restaurant? Why do I go to certain restaurants? Right? Why do I not go to Denny's? How many of you do not eat at Denny's? Why? Wow, there's a lot of you that do. How are they in business? None of you eat at Denny's, right? So tell me why you don't eat at Denny's. It's disgusting. What'd you say? My food is better, exactly. My food is better is why I don't eat at Denny's, right? So you hear what I'm saying? So again, if your goal and the prospect's goal are in alignment, it's a done deal. It's a match. It's a win-win situation. So how in the world do you get to that place of figuring that out? You got to take you out of the equation. So when I was on the phone with my prospects, I wasn't focused on the fact that I was homeless and who was going to trust me. I wasn't thinking about and worried about whether or not they'd figure out that I was that broad that bounced all those checks all over town. Do you understand? Or I was the hoe who was sleeping with half the town. That was not my focus. My focus wasn't what my husband had done, Carrie, my husband from Canada. I wasn't focused on my $35,000 debt. I wasn't focused on the job that I couldn't stand. I wasn't focused on any of my past. Do you hear me? I wasn't focused on any of my past or even my present. What I was focused on was, who can I help to succeed? Who can I help to succeed? Who can I help get what they want today? Did you hear me? Today. Did you hear me? Today. Hello, when? Today. It has to be when? Today. It can't be someday. It has to be today, right? Now, there's something about today. Today brings urgency. Today is going to end. And there is somebody somewhere that needs help when? Today. So it's, who can I help to succeed today? All right? So that's been my marketing plan for almost 30 years. It has worked pretty freaking darn well. And it's very simple. Who can we help to succeed today? So you think in terms of not assuming that you know what someone wants for success. Don't assume you know. And there's various different degrees of what people want in success. Do you understand? Okay, there's some people that they have a very low vision for success, and there's some that have a very high level vision of success. It doesn't matter what the vision is, help them get it. Help them get the experience that they want. And honestly, people pay high dollar for experience. And that's what you're bringing people. Do you understand that? It doesn't matter what your business model is. You're bringing them an experience that either they're gonna talk about badly, or they're gonna talk about positively, or they're not gonna talk about it all. Do you hear me? Either they're not gonna talk, and if they don't talk about it at all, you lost. Right? If they don't talk about it at all, that you lost. Now, that even goes for those of you that do all of your communicating on the internet. If you're not doing something that is hitting them so hard, meaning so squarely in creating an experience for them, even just with your website, that they don't just go, oh my gosh, you have to call these people. You have to use this. You got to read this. Did you see this article? You want to provoke that in them so that they're even something that is one-dimensional. Right? Black and white on a web page with just floating somewhere in the air. Do you understand? It's not even something that's tangible. It's just somewhere in the air, but yet your writing or your content fits that person so much and connects to that person so much that it causes them to tell their friend about it. Like right when they're on that page. Do you understand? Same with Facebook, that gets people to share what you wrote. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if your focus is, who can I help to succeed when? Today. When? Today. Yes. And who is it? Who is it that you're looking for that you can help to succeed? Anyone. Anyone. Now, let me break this down and make this one really plain for you. How many of you have never personally talked to your friends or your family or your coworkers from the past about the current product or business or service that you are currently representing? Okay? Now, you have to ask yourself, why am I doing that? By the way, Aaron, I'm at my family reunion last weekend, okay? My cousin comes up to me, who I haven't seen in years, meaning the family reunions I'm at, she's not at, right? And this woman so inspired me when I was a little girl. She says, I went to get a little massage, at this chiropractor, and I walk in the door, and I see your picture on the wall. And I turn and I say, that's my cousin. And the woman goes, that's not your cousin. That's Danny Johnson. She goes, Danny Johnson is my cousin. She walked into your office. What are the odds, right? Like, what are the freaking odds? My cousin goes to a chiropractor and goes in for a massage, sees my picture, and it's her. It's her office. Small freaking world, man. Anyway, sorry, I saw you. I'm like, I have to tell you this. Back to the training. Okay, so what was I talking about before I told you that? Family and friends. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, why would you not? Why would you not? Why would they not be the first people that you would talk to? Right? Why would they not be the first people you would talk to? So how many of you, okay, so watch. Okay, so remember we're talking about exposure. There's actually one thing we didn't talk about. When it came to exposure, we did not talk about this. You ready? This is gold right here. Bam. Your list of resources. That is gold. Your own personal list of resources is gold. Everybody else is targeting your personal list of resources. Your personal list of resources is your personal database. Okay, back in the 80s, it used to be called a Rolodex. Right? That's what it used to be called as a Rolodex. How many of you remember those days, right? So I started in my first business in 1989 or 88 or 89, something like that. So we used to have Rolodexes, right? So that was a list of every single contact that we had. Now, today, they're called databases. It's the same thing as a Rolodex, right? So you have to constantly be building that, but really the one that has the most value is yours personally. The one that you have right now. It's free. This is where you have trust with the prospect. However, you may not have respect, and that's okay, because here's how it works. This is your contacts, right? Sorry, this is your contacts. Those are not your contacts. Oh, poop stain. Hey, it's better than what I used to say, so. And if you're still getting offended by me, there's a problem. Your contacts trust you. And if you're offended by me, wait till you meet my husband. They do, okay? Your contacts trust you, but they may not respect you. They may not respect you, okay? However, you can build that respect with your contacts by edifying something else. Edifying your business, your service, your product, or an expert. Edifying somebody else.
Are you confident that you're always getting a good deal? Have you been equipped with the negotiation confidence strategies, tactics, and supporting tools you need to close world-class deals? Finally, JPA is making the exact same specialized negotiation training and secrets used by the world's largest, most successful corporations available to everyone. Proven in more than 60 countries and used by brands like Adidas, Vodafone, Pfizer, Nokia, and others, the JPA negotiation method will set you up to save money and time while significantly increasing your profits. It doesn't matter if you're buying or selling real estate, closing contracts with suppliers, or selling products and services to individuals or organizations. Using their simple step-by-step negotiation preparation checklist, you'll be ready to confidently slug it out toe-to-toe with the toughest professional negotiators. It's time for you to stop leaving money and opportunity on the table. Go to bizneg.com/events to register now. Again, that's bizneg.com/events. Get registered today. Have you ever wondered if your investments are making enough money for retirement? What if you could buy an investment rental property for as little as $35,000 that rents for at least $550 a month? After Aaron and Drew Hudson asked themselves this question, Hudson Real Estate Investments was formed, and now 200 transactions have been conducted. Their system helps individuals buy and hold real estate. Their definition of a great buy and hold is a property that pays you a monthly positive cash flow from day one. Hudson Real Estate Investments has a team who find properties available for immediate purchase, vet tenants, and have qualified property management in place. So if you're looking to have freedom and live your life on your own terms, grab your phone and text the word future to 484848. Get started today. Text the word future to 484848. Secure your future now. Do you have a closet full of clothes yet say, I have nothing to wear? Are you a mom doing her best but desperately lacking me time? Or maybe your schedule has you dressing practically instead of powerfully. What if I told you there's a system, a blueprint that can save you time, money, and turn every head in the room, as well as impact the world through fashion? Friend, you're in the fashion business whether you like it or not. You're an ambassador representing your faith, your marriage, family, and business. Style is just a skill made easy with 123 Style Me. 10 steps to style success that will expand your leadership, save you hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars. This program will bring you peace of mind, reignite your marriage, make you more productive, respected, and instantly boost your confidence, equipping you to be bold and beautiful. Go to courses.lindapage.com. Again, that is courses.linda, LINDAPAIGE.com, and make a priceless investment in yourself.
Did you know you can take The Danny Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Danny with the DannyJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you. The way you look at things is about to change. And now, back to the Danny Johnson Show.
So in the case of when I'm homeless, I know I have no respect with a cold prospect. I also know that I'm probably not going to have respect because I'm not established, right? I don't know these people. So with perfect strangers, I don't have credibility with those people. So what I did do is I edified other people. I edified testimonials. I lifted up and built up their stories because I didn't have one, right? Hello, remember, I'm 50 pounds overweight and I didn't use the stuff. Do you understand? I'm the fat chick selling diet programs, okay? So there's no credibility here. Do you understand? And fortunately, they can't see how fat I am on the phone. But when I got to them face to face, they could see, girlfriend, do you think you might want to try some of this stuff yourself? Does this really work? I had them so distracted, they didn't pay attention to how big my butt was. Okay, so they couldn't see my big arms or my gut. They couldn't see it because I had them so focused on themselves. I had them so distracted on what they wanted. I had them so wrapped up in the emotion of why they wanted to lose weight that I didn't have the focus on the product. I had the focus on the result of what they were looking for and their problem. So I was just disappearing. You know, the size of my butt, my arms, my gut did not make a difference in the equation. And the fact that I didn't have an office, I didn't have a receipt book, are you hearing me? That I didn't have any of that stuff. Why? Because I kept the prospect focused on what mattered to them. Rather than making excuses for my situation, right? And that's what some people do. This is what amateurs do. They make excuses for their situation. Say, well, I actually tried this and it gave me a lot of gas, but I don't think that's going to happen to you. So people do things like that. They put the focus on them, and when they get the focus on them, now here comes all the objections from the prospect. So it's just a very simple thing to just keep the prospect distracted on what they want, right? And so in the case with finding that out, there's a simple question. Why do you want this? So remember in the script that I demonstrated on Saturday, tell me what the main reason is that you have for losing weight, because we'll only work with people who are deadly serious. So it's the same for the Hot Marriage Secrets that's coming up in 4 weeks. There's an application that's got to be filled out. And one of the questions in there is why? Why do you feel you should be at this event? Why do I ask that question? Because you have to sell me as to why I should allow you to be with us for that weekend. So tell me why you want to lose weight in the case of these women. There's a lot of people who respond to ads. There's lots of people who say they want something, but I'm not going to work with just anybody. We will not have any failures. We will only have successes. So you tell me why you want this. In the case with a weight loss situation, it was start bawling, men and women both. I don't feel attractive anymore. I feel like I'm hiding myself. I hate what I see in the mirror. This is all emotional, and that is what you're looking for with your client. You're looking for that emotional connection, that emotional content that is their why. You're not looking for the facts and the figures. You're looking for the thing that moves them so powerfully that that's what's going to make them stick to whatever it is that you have. Okay. Now, I know some of you have different types of businesses. Like I said, there's several restaurants that are here this weekend. There's all different types of contracting businesses and all that kind of stuff in here. So I know you're like, well, how does that apply to me? That has to apply with your employees. What's the why for them? And if you can get to the why of your customers who come in and eat your burger, or they come in and take advantage of you remodeling their house, again, what are you doing? What experience are you creating that is so powerful that makes them talk about you? Because you only have that one interaction with them. Do you understand? So the thing that can make their interaction with you so powerful is that you make the focus all about who? Them. You make it about them, that's what sells them on you. Okay? You make it about them, that's what makes them be sold on you. Can you do that? Okay. Is this connecting at all with you? Is it making sense to you? Okay? So keep the focus of that. So your list of resources is gold, right? So with that gold right there are people inside of your own personal list of resources, people that trust you, okay? They may not respect you. It doesn't matter if they don't respect you. What kind of freaking respect did I have when I got started? Let's go back to when I was 19. What kind of respect did I have as a woman, a single woman who's 19 years old with my past? What kind of respect? What kind of credibility did I have? Nothing. But I didn't carry myself from nothing. I didn't carry myself from my past. I carried myself for where I was going. Okay? So where are you going? Do you hear me? Where are you going? That's positioning. That's everything. That's what makes people successful. It's interesting when I see people, how they walk, how they talk, how they stand, how they present themselves determines how they are perceived. Do you hear me? So how you dress is important. How you show up. Are you clean? Are you got deodorant on? Did you shave? Did you pull those 5 black hairs off of the top of your nose, men? Did you get the forest out of your ears? Did you clip those long things that are coming out of your eyebrows? And ladies, did you take your hair out of the messy bun? Your husband did not marry a soccer mom. He married his girlfriend, who was hot. And if you ain't hot anymore, you better take a shower and shave. Ladies, show some stuff to him and start touching him everywhere. Yeah, it's the guys. I love you, Danny. This is so awesome. Yeah, man, we went to this seminar and my wife treats me like a rock star now. You gotta go to this thing. I'm getting laid, man. This is awesome. Yeah, no, hot marriage secrets. People are gonna have a hard time getting a hold of y'all. I promise. We're gonna move every barrier that stops the thing from happening. Yes. Okay. So anyway, these people here, it doesn't matter if you have respect. Quit trying to worry about that. But what matters is that you can develop trust. And what did we see with Shane on Saturday on the stage? Did I show you how to build trust? Yes. And how did we do that? Him talking about himself. Him talking about himself, him talking about himself, him talking, and don't worry, Shane, that's not because of you. That's just human beings in general. Do you understand? That's not to say, oh, Shane has to talk about himself. No, We all have to talk about ourselves, is what I'm saying, okay? So you use this trust with your context, you build respect towards an expert, you edify something else. Now this makes the connection. Take you out of the equation altogether, right? You should actually be disappearing in the equation. So all you are is a conduit connecting two things together that need to be together, right? So what is it for that? Okay, well, it's even connecting your employee with their dream. That makes you shine to them. It's supporting their vision. Sorry. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you don't know what matters to them, you can't motivate them to continue doing what they're doing. If you don't know what is burning inside of them that they must do, that they must change, where they must go, if you're not connecting them to that thing, and that thing, by the way, may not be your business, may not be your company. Do you hear me? It may not be something you're interested in. And guess what? It doesn't have to be. But what will cause your people to celebrate your business, your company, whatever it is that you are supporting what it is that they love. You are supporting what it is that matters to them. You believe for them what they're believing for. Do you hear me? So, and that takes, again, you out of the equation. But at the end of the day, you turn into that one that you believed in me. You encouraged me, because trust me, they don't have a whole lot of people. Let me ask you, how many of you do not have a whole lot of people outside of this community that does not believe in you, support you, encourage you, edify you, lift you up, spur you on? How many of you do not have families all around you just going, go, man, you can do it, dream bigger, you got this thing? But instead, how many have family members going, I don't know if that's gonna work. Hey, are you profitable yet? How many of you have had your family do that? Hey, yeah, don't forget where you came from. Hey, you should think about getting a real job. Hey, how come you're not just satisfied with what everybody else has? We're blue-collar workers. We're always going to be blue-collar workers. Can't you just be settled down? I mean, it's not godly to want something. How many of you that is what your family has said and done? So guess what? Guess what? You just told me it right there. You just said that your list of resources has people all around them who are discouraging them. Your list of resources is surrounded by the same people you're surrounded by. They've got something in them just like you got something in you. They've got a hope and something that says, gosh, there's got to be something more than this life that I'm living. There's got to be something more than this job. There's got to be something more than this business that I'm doing. There's got to be something more than this boring marriage I'm in. There's got to be something more than my life just being okay. There has to be something more than just a 9-to-5 job and a Blockbuster. Forget it. Netflix, forget it. Video games. There's got to be something more than this. Why does it seem that everybody else gets to go do something great and I got to stay stuck right here? The same thing that caused you to get here is the same thing that's burning in your list of resources. So your job is to connect them to something that they now can say, I got to grab onto it, I got to go for it. So when you step up and you're that person that's speaking hope into them, it's game over. It's game over. This is where they go, yeah. This is when now, okay, no matter what it is that you do, whether they join you in that or that you become that trusted advisor in their life that believed in them. Now, they talk about who? You, because you believed in them, because you encouraged them, because you did something that the rest of everyone they know would not do. That's for your coworkers are on your list of resources. I want you to make a list right now. I want you to make a list of every person that you know. I want to see who can do it the fastest. We got 5 minutes. Do it now. We just finished talking about plumbers, contractors. Get the list going. You got 5 minutes. Go. All right, who's got 10? Who's got 20? Who's got 30? Who's got 40? Who's got 50? Who's got 60? Wow. Who's got 70? Who's got 80? 90? 90? Who's got 100? 110? What do you got? She's still counting. She just knows. 121. Anyone got more than 121? Stand up. How many you got? 625. You didn't write those down. You're right. He already has his list. So she wrote down, and I said, write it down. So that's really good. I said, make a list of names, write them down. You have 5 minutes. It's pretty awesome that you have 625. Okay, so there's 2 points here. We did it in 5 minutes. Most of you came up with 50 or more. She came up with 121. Give that girl a hand. Do you own 6 figures in 6 months? Do you own unlimited success? What do you not own? What do you want? Gems? Go get it. That's the Gems Mastery course. Okay, the Gems Mastery course, it's video, it's audio, it's a workbook. It also allows her to press play, where she can have people into her home or into her community, where she can start getting that information implemented into the community, to her friends, to her family members, all of that stuff. It's a very, very powerful training. Good job. So now you take that 121 people, and you're gonna make 121 phone calls for the rest of you too. Look, 5 minutes is all it took to make at least a list of 50. So each one of those lives knows 2,000 people you do not know. Each one of those lives knows 2,000 people you do not know. You are a conduit. Listen to me carefully. You are a conduit. You are not the answer, but you are one to point people in the direction of how they can achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. If you don't know what they want to achieve, you can't point them in that direction. Does that make sense? So let's say even as a contractor, if you're a contractor, you're working and bidding jobs, and you are in somebody's house or in their business, are you taking notice of what that business is, what the goals are, or that family? If you're in a home or in a business, somebody is working to make the payment on the house. Do you understand what I'm saying? So even like Chris with what you do, okay? So he's a financial planner. So you meet with people in their houses or in their offices. You meet with them in your office, one of 3 different locations. It's home, their office, or your office is where you're meeting with them. So the question is, how did they get that house? How did they get that office? What is the main thing we can do to help you build this business that helps to afford this house and to build that future? Do you understand what I'm saying? You have the ability to now go into in a conversation between Form and Gems, to go into that setting and no longer just be so much about promoting what you have, but to now get into, okay, what can I do to help your business grow? What do you need? What are you looking for? Look at that question. That's such a simple question. How can I help you build your brand even better? Tell me more about your business. I can't imagine if people that I've done business with asked me that question. It's crazy. If I went into a restaurant and they asked me that, so what do you do? Oh, what kind of customer do you need? What kind of people do you look for? Are you guys hiring right now? Because we have other customers that are looking for jobs. If you tell me the kind of person you're looking for, maybe I can connect you to them.
Financing a home can be a nightmare if you don't know exactly what you're doing. Ask me. I know this. That's why the first thing you have to do is find a mortgage company you can trust that has your back through the entire process. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading your current one, or looking for an investment property, Rick Fujisaki at Wintrust Mortgage wants to win your trust. Rick understands the mortgage industry, and he can take all the stress out of financing a home for you. His easy-to-use worksheets will help you calculate the mortgage you can afford. And he has a unique tool designed to help you find and set aside money for your down payment. And when you work with Rick, who, by the way, I love, a portion goes to caring for the poor through King's Ransom Foundation. So visit loanmortgageguys.com and start building your dream today. Again, contact Rick at loanmortgageguys.com.
Did you know you can see Danny Johnson live and in person? Go to DannyJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First Steps to Success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DannyJohnson.com/FSTS.
It's Amanda Sanders. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I've been completely inspired by this event. And it was payday this week, and instead of me going and splurging and spending money like I typically would have, I paid off $2,700 worth of debt, and I am extremely excited to get the rest of our debt paid off. And I also implemented a plan. We've been living off of a lot of money, and I did the numbers last night, and we can live off of $5,000 a month and like get our debt paid fast. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much.
And it's your first event, right?
It is my very first event.
So awesome.
So excited.
Hey everybody, my name is Digby and I'm from New South Wales, Australia, and I'm here live at First Steps to Success. I've been to 6 events now, and my journey started with an encore in Brisbane, and after doing 2 encores in Australia, I just really had to come to a live event, so here I am today. And since attending an encore and getting involved, my income has doubled and my family life is just blossoming. So you have to get there. You just have to experience it.
My name is Jen Horling. This is my first time at First Steps. I just gotta say, my God is way bigger than my hair. These last 2 days, beyond what I could ever have imagined. I grew up in the church and thought, sure, I'm gonna go to another conference, I'm gonna make some amazing friends, I'm gonna have some life-changing experiences. But I never expected to find the community and the genuine, authentic, real community that I found when I came here. And I did not expect to find a true leader. And I am just mind blown right now and so beyond grateful to be here. So thank you.
What multimillionaire do you know that volunteers their time to help ordinary people like you and me? There's only one. This is The Danny Johnson Show.
So if every one of those people, so the 50 or the 121 or the 625, the question is, who will I help to succeed today? Of that list of names, who can I help to succeed today? You take you out of the equation and you take your motive and you change your motive to who can I help to succeed from that list. There's people on that list that are looking for jobs. There's people on that list that business is suffering. There's people on that list that people's health is suffering. There's people on that list that their finances are a mess. Their marriage is a prison. There are people on that list that are given up on a dream that they had 5 years ago. There's people on that list that are hopeless, that don't feel like they have any future ahead of them. There are people that are dissatisfied with every area of their life. There's very few people on that list that are happy, go lucky, and everything is awesome. Very few. So when you start engaging with them and you find out through a conversation with form, when you use form to now find out what the strengths, the interests, the goals, and the needs are, now clearly and simply, as you saw with Shane, you direct him to what he wants. You will always end up with a crazy amount of referrals if you're focusing on the success of other people. Always. You will always have people sending you business because you are doing that for them in some way, because you're helping to solve a problem in their life. You are representing your brand. You're representing your brand. So they associate you and whatever your business or whatever your brand is together. And it's powerful. Very, very powerful. All right, so now we talked about this list of resources. The other thing concerning exposure is numbers. So look, in 5 minutes, a list was created. In 5 minutes, each one of those people know 2,000 people you do not know. Each one of them know 2,000 people you do not know. That is an endless source of leads. That is a fact, by the way. Social scientists have studied the market and found that by the time you are 20 years old, you know 2,000 people. By the time you're 20. Now with Facebook, it's crazy how many friends you can collect through social media platforms and how simple it is to actually engage with people. So you take form to Facebook. You take form to Instagram. You take form to Twitter. So you don't just get on your social media and just blah. No, you get on social media and start to engage in conversation, asking people more about themselves, what they're excited about, what matters most to them. You can actually see what some of their interests are, digging deeper. Tell me more about what you like about cycling. So I've had those conversations with my little brother. I found out that he loves cycling. He's a crazy man. How many miles? Oh, 203. Yeah, he's from Seattle to Portland. He just did that race. Yeah, let's go up to Seattle and ride a bike in a day, 203 miles. Wow. Wait, with a bad knee. Yeah, he's had arthritis for 8 years. What? I can fix that. That's awesome. He can. Okay, so you get interested on Facebook. You start forming people on social media. You literally just start forming them. You start getting to know who they are. You use the same exact questions that I gave you on Saturday. You use that in social media. That's another way to re-engage with people you haven't talked to in a really long time also. My daughter would not be married to her husband had I did not form somebody on Facebook. No joke. I wouldn't have Anthem and Zion if I had not formed an old classmate that judged me harshly for being a teen pregnancy, having a teen pregnancy when I was 17. So I went to high school with a bunch of church people. I came back pregnant to say hi. They didn't like that very much. Seriously, and I got wrote off for 25 years. There was no contact. As soon as we started our Facebook page, then all of a sudden there was contact. We didn't know about each other's life at all. Started forming her on Facebook. Private message. How are you? Who did you marry? How many kids do you have? Went over and I looked at her page. My gosh, your sons are gorgeous. They are. And now one of them is my son. Absolutely gorgeous, brilliant, amazing young man. So she would ask me questions. Well, what are you doing? Who are you married to? How many? I didn't answer my questions. The thing about social media that is so fun and so easy is you 100% can be in, what's the word? Concharge. You can be in concharge of the conversation. You're totally in concharge of the conversation. So I'm asking her, who did you marry? How many kids you got? Then I go over and look. I go, my goodness, your sons are absolutely gorgeous. Are any of them single? Yes, they are. Well, what are you doing these days? Oh, I'm doing this, and that. You married Darren. Darren was the hottest guy in high school. He's the hottest guy and she married him. So anyway, it was awesome. Wow, you married Darren? Okay, what do you guys do? What does he do? How did you guys get together? Like, how did that happen? There she is, writing me a book every single time I ask a question. Okay, and in it she would be, but what about you? Who did you marry? How long have you been married? How did you meet him? Ignored. Don't answer the question. Asked her another question about her life. You want to be the one that doesn't talk about you. You want to be the one that just pulls information out of everybody else. make them so curious about you that in this case, she then started to Google my name. She did. I didn't tell her anything. So then all of a sudden, I get a private message. She goes, my husband's going to Hans's internet boot camp. What? How did you hear about that? He's there in Dallas with him now. What? And we're coming to First Step Success in LA, and we're bringing our son, Zach. Wow. Listen, she's whining to me that she's broke. She was whining to me that she's broke. Darren lost his business. He was a contractor, Like, oh, that's too bad. She gets a hold of stories on Facebook, watching video after video of testimony after testimony after testimony after testimony after testimony after testimony, and ends up finding the money to get on a plane and come see an old high school mate that she totally rejected. Do you understand? And today we share the same grandchildren. We share the same grandchildren. Honestly, Zach is like the dream son-in-law, the dream son-in-law. Did not touch my daughter, did not dishonor her. He kept his purity, she kept her purity to the day they exchanged vows. That is phenomenal, to find a young man that would honor a virgin, that would honor her parents, that would honor the way she was raised, and him to honor his parents the way he did. That's miraculous, right? All from what? Form. On Facebook and not talking about myself. What am I going to say? Well, haven't you seen me? I was on Oprah. Did you ever see Secret Millionaire? That was me. Here, let me send you some links. I was on The View. Heck no. That's disgusting. She doesn't care about that. She cares about the struggle she has in her relationship. She cares about the struggles of raising 3 very hungry teenage boys. She cares about getting the bills paid. Do you understand? So I just kept her talking about herself. This woman actually ended up entering in a business with a client that I recommended her to and made $119,000 that very first year. Plugging into First Step Success, paid off over $256,000 worth of debt. Her family became completely debt-free. Isn't that crazy? Simple form. So everybody you know has a need. Everybody you know has a need. What is it? Everybody you know has a need. Who is helping them fill that need? Well, let me ask you this question. Prior to being introduced to this place, to this community, how many of you had needs? And how many of you did not have your friends or your family members or your coworkers helping to fill those specific needs? Look around the room. So you are surrounded by people not helping you fill that need. So what does that tell you about your list of resources? They all have needs, and there's a good chance that no one's helping them. So what would happen if you become the one that does? That's opportunity that's right in front of you. And there's always opportunity in front of you. Here's another thing. When it comes to numbers, business is nothing but a numbers game. It's nothing but a numbers game. So if you're not talking to people, and you're not forming people, and you're not using gems, you're missing millions of dollars, leaving it on the table. Like, how in the world, Danny? I don't have a business model where I can make millions of dollars. You are limiting yourself. You have no idea how one thing leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another. Opportunity is all around you. It's surrounding you all the time. And remember I told you that you can become financially independent without making millions of dollars. There's lots of people, you can ask my friend David, he and I've been in a similar business for a lot of years. There are lots of millionaires that die broke. Lots of millionaires that die with a crazy amount of debt and are completely broke. Lots of them. So making a lot of money does not guarantee financial independence. Not ever. Not ever. So that necessarily cannot be even your goal to make $1 million. No, if you want financial independence, there's lots of ways to get there. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of ways to get there. So many different avenues. Some hard, some simple. Don't just have your mind set on one. Seriously. And for some of you, making $1 million could be the worst thing that could happen to you. I'm not kidding you. For some of you, it's the worst thing that can happen to you. Money makes you more of who you are. Money makes you more of who you are. Money makes you more of who you are. And some of you are going to have to change internally who you are so that money doesn't kill you. So that money doesn't destroy your family. Money makes you more of who you are. It magnifies it greatly. Greatly magnifies it. Okay, so with numbers, and this is really important, how many people a day will you commit to talking to? And what we were talking about earlier about vision, we're talking about earlier about vision. We're talking about my why, your why. Why am I doing this? And your why has to be bigger than making a lot of money, because you will find reasons not to make a lot of money. But if you really connect with why you're here and what this is about, and that you want to do something that's bigger than you, bigger than a business, bigger than even your family, you want something that's bigger than that, then establish that. And here's a list of contacts to use to go after that. They all know 2,000 people you do not know. Those 2,000 people have what? Needs. Those 2,000 people that each one of your people have needs, don't they? It is an endless supply of leads. Endless supply of leads. The person to your right knows 2,000 people you don't know. The person to your left knows 2,000 people you don't know. That's 4,000 people, 6,000 including you. And they're all free leads. It's all free leads. Not to mention, do you know who your boss is? He's got 7 billion contacts. He happens to be your dad, too. 7 billion contacts. It's an endless supply. But each one knows 2,000 you don't know, and each one of them have needs. And if you become the professional need filler, it's a done deal. Never run out. So, but here's okay, that's huge, right? That's a huge amount. How many are you going to talk to every day? How many are you going to talk to every single day? If you spent 80% of your time for your business getting new business, I told you about this restaurant in our town. He's got the greatest food in town. He's got the greatest view in town. He's right on the river. Beautiful location, great food. How do I know? My son's one of the chefs. Anyway, he has great food. Even before my son was one of the chefs, they had great food. But the point is that he's got the better of experience in the whole town. Hands down the best location. But he doesn't get out and talk to people. He doesn't get out and promote his business. So for me, when I first started in my very first business almost 30 years ago, it was 10 people a day. I got to talk to no less than 10 people a day. 10 people a day. Are you willing to talk to 10 people a day? Is your vision worth it? Now again, when I say your vision has to be bigger than your business, bigger than money, now we have a bigger goal that we're shooting for. We have something that is, let's say, more important and drives you better. Your business is nothing but a vehicle to help you get there. It's not the only vehicle that's going to help you get there. Did you hear me? It's not the only vehicle. There might be many. Your job is not the only vehicle to help you get there. There will be many vehicles that will help you plug into that. That doesn't mean go find 5 businesses. What that means is there's lots of different things and opportunities that will be around you that will help as conduits to help put you there.